Hey, good evening to you, and you. I am Shawanna Kennedy, Lady Shawanna Kennedy, and I am excited to be here with the one, the only Lady Tiffany Anisette Pringle. And we're coming to you with what? First
Yes,
Lady
lady
Preneur.
yours.
Woo! Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We're excited about what God is doing in this season, and it is by way of First Ladypreneur. So I know some are like, what are they doing? What's going on? And we're excited. So welcome to a new month, right? We're welcome to a new month. This is a month of love. Every day is about love, right? But this is a special month because it's about love. So go ahead, if you don't mind or find it robbery, to go ahead and share or tag someone to jump in and catch this candid conversation that myself and Lady Tiffany will be having about love, a candid conversation about love. And just if you don't mind, Lady Tiffany, let them know a little bit about yourself and what is First Ladypreneurs.
Well, thank you. I'm so excited to be here with my dear friend, First Lady, Lady Shawanna Kennedy. So, as many of you may know, I am First Lady Tiffany Anisette Pringle. I wear multiple hats. So, I'm multiple hats in ministry, multiple hats in the entrepreneurial world, multiple hats in corporate. And just to share a little bit about ladypreneurs, first ladypreneurs, I want to share what it is we are all about and what you will look forward to seeing in episodes to come. So, first of all, the show will be about inspiring and showcasing women of faith who hold the title of First Lady or co pastor alongside their husband in ministry. We will be exploring their determination and passions about achieving success and following their dreams while providing tools, tips, and business strategies to help them succeed and win. It is all about daring yourself to step out of the box and do something you have never done. So, that in a nutshell is what the First Ladypreneur movement is all about.
Thank you. I'm excited. I'm super excited. I know, uh, look, that's a whole conversation for itself when you think about being a first lady, not only a first lady, but understanding what it means to be a woman, and then growing into being okay to even consider yourself a lady and not just ladylike, right?
Right.
That's why the conversations are going to be. In some cases not only candid but where they are really where you might see us get a little bit vulnerable, right? Because that's what it's about allowing other people to see that first ladies are people too. How about that? Yeah, women in leadership, you are people too, and we want you to know that we see you, we recognize you, and we're excited about the platforms, this just only being one, that we will have the opportunity to share messages such as this and have uh, a wonderful conversations around just being a woman. How about that? Being an amazing woman, a superwoman, and in some cases taking off the superwoman cape. How
Yeah.
about that? But
Yeah.
tonight we have chosen. So again, welcome to a new month. You know what is it? The two, all of the twos, and it is what just the two of us with being excited about you guys being here. So make sure you are more than welcome to leave us comments, ask questions, even give us show topics and ideas, because we are definitely, those are things that we want to consider to bring to this platform. And so just we're about to engage. So love, what about love? What's love got to do with it? What's
Yeah.
love got to do with it?
That's the topic for tonight. What's love got
Yes.
to do with it?
What's love got to do with it? What does that even mean to you when you think about love? Like, what do you think when you think about yourself, and how do you look at yourself when you think about love? What does that look like, right? Is it just about flowers and candy? What does it look like for you?
So I would say love has everything to do with it, right? We have to look at this word to apply to our own life. And we're not here talking about loving other people as of yet, but more so loving yourself.
Yeah.
That's what love has to do with it on tonight's show. How to love yourself. And when you begin to love yourself, then you can love others. So there's a scripture that I want to share with you all. It's Mark 12 and 31, and it talks about loving your neighbor as yourself. And it says, no other commandment is greater than these. What about that? So
Ooh.
loving yourself first, right? You can't love others if you don't love you yet. So we're going to dig a little deeper into this conversation about loving yourself. And my question to you, Lady Kennedy, is what happens when you don't love yourself? What do you set yourself up for?
You set yourself up for, you hate to say it, but actually failure. You set yourself up for, in some cases, it actually comes at a cost, a big cost, because it could be financially, physically, spiritually. When you don't take the time to love yourself, it says what? To know thyself, right? And when you say to love your neighbor as thyself, so I'm gonna help somebody tonight say thyself, because tonight in this conversation, it is about you, and it's about you looking at what does that really mean for you, because she gave you the scripture. And so for me, it does go back to being self-aware,
Mhm.
and with part of my self journey and loving me and all of the many different facets. And I think it's a beautiful thing, in that we all do have to get to a place that we can embrace the beauty of who we are, and being women, as you know, time, right? Well, God marks, we give it time, but God knows a number that no man number, so we give it that. But it's like, where are you at in this stage, and how are you loving you now? Like, what's love got to do with it? It's like everything, right? What does love have to do with it every day when we wake up? It's those little things that I think about. So
Mhm.
it does, it starts with saying thyself. How do I feel about myself? And always go back to, what does that really mean? Because in some cases, when you love yourself, you have to have uncomfortable conversations with yourself. What does that mean for you?
Yes. So let me just share the definition of love.
Go ahead. Yes.
The definition is an intense feeling of affection, right? So when you think about that definition, again, you may think about what you have towards someone, but we want you to look at it from a different lens. How do I have an intense feeling of affection for me? What does that look like for me? And a lot of times we nurture, we pamper the exterior of us,
Mhm. Mhm.
and we feel that, oh, if I go to the day spa, if I get my hair done, my nails done, I am doing some me stuff and I'm showing that I love me. But my question to you is, what's happening on the inside? Do you have an inner peace? Are you loving yourself from the inside out? Are you loving yourself to where you can make decisions that will be impacting for yourself, and they're not damaging yourself? So I want you to think about love in the aspect of, how am I treating me from the inside out? It's not just an external thing. This starts from the inside out, because when you really love you, you will think twice about some of the decisions that you make in your life. You won't make decisions based on what other people want. You will think about your values, your morals, and what you really need to be a whole person.
Mhm. Yeah, that's real good, because oftentimes we know when depending on your environment, because we know sometimes in certain situations people don't get love, right? They're not getting it the way that they need it, and so they look for love in all the wrong places, instead of even initially looking to thyself, right? Uh,
Yes.
and to not, of course, we know that for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, right? So we know that, yes, Jesus loves me, but when we think about that, and you being a gift, and us being created in love, right? I believe I was created in love. It does not matter the stories that I may have been told by my mother about
Mhm.
my conception, right? I believe that God is the giver of all life, and
Yeah.
that we know, if you're looking, you're listening, I need you to know that you were meant to be here. You have a purpose. You were called to something in this life, in this world. So I want you to know that you are loved. And tonight, it is part of our hope, our desire is that you lean in a little bit more into loving you, because that's what it's about. so that it can then extend to those around you. Because when we love ourselves, it's showing everything we do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It shows on the outside. So when you start loving on the inside, what shows up is what you present to the world on the outside. So a lot of times, we neglect ourselves. We feel that we're not worth it. We don't have what the others have. Is all the I'm not, right? You start
Yeah.
thinking about everything that you're not. So what we want to do tonight is share with you what you are. You are worth it. You are valuable. You should be loving yourself, loving on yourself, and expressing that you love yourself, right? Have you ever had a moment where you walked around the house and you're like, I just love me. I love me. Like,
Yeah.
I did that today. That's the kind of spirit of love you want to have. You want to celebrate yourself. And Lady Kennedy is all about celebrating. She has the self first movement, all about loving yourself first. And she has these pom poms that she shakes, and she really gets you motivated about loving yourself. And I want to, just take it home, for those that may not have that feeling
Yeah.
inside. you know how can we help you find that? How can we help you explore what may be laying dormant, what you don't know exist? Our job is to help you birth that with what is in you. And it starts with loving who you are and recognizing that you have so much to give. But I remember there was a time in my life that I don't think I really loved myself.
Mm.
I think I've been there.
Mm.
I remember times where I was ball up in a corner crying about things that I just couldn't figure out. And sometimes it's a journey to
Yeah.
get to that place of loving yourself, because you're looking for love. Well, oh, nobody loves me. I can't keep this person in my life. This is not going right. It must be me, right? We start having that pity party.
Mm-hmm.
But when you truly love yourself, you are strong, you're confident, you speak your voice, you say what you need, and you do connect with the people that really have your best interests at heart.
Yeah, I love that. I look, haha. I do. I really do love that because when you start being present and start showing up for yourself, you're able to tap into the things that you really do want. You'll be okay to, we already know we teach people how to treat us, how to love us
Yeah,
every single day. And a lot of that comes with even for us. What if you're at a certain age, we've allowed certain things. So at this stage, it's like you have to restart to retrain your own brain. And
right,
then you have to actually be okay to have uncomfortable conversations, not just with yourself, but even with some family members, and to bring them up to speed, not to ask for permission, but even to begin to set some more healthier boundaries so that you are free to move about your life more freely, to operate in the space that you know that you really need to be at this time of your life. A lot of us, because of a lack of love or a different type of love, we have allowed certain relationships that really do not honor God nor benefit us.
right,
Right. Right. And it's like breaking those chains and being free. Now, I'm not telling nobody to divorce nobody. So I don't be on this show saying that Shawanna told nobody to get a divorce. All right. Uh, because that's another show for another day, and having different professionals that will be joining us on some of these episodes to even tap into what does that really look like when you are in a relationship and you've been in it a minute, and you just really want to be able to do some things different so that you can because you want to like the person you're with, right? Because we know that every day you have to love them, because every day you won't like them. How about that? You may not like them every day, but we have to be able to love them. And then that's easier when you know how to love yourself, because then you know how to safeguard yourself in such a way to not even take everything personal, especially when it's more than just you involved. And you
right.
have to be okay to, I must say this even before this episode is over, is that you have to love yourself enough to grant yourself some grace.
Yes,
Give yourself some grace as you're growing, right? Because look, we're in a brand new year. We're not the same as we were, heck, last week. So
right.
grant yourself some grace but still don't be stuck. Don't be too paused for too long, right? Because sometimes you do need to, hold up while you figure some things out, but don't be stuck there. So grant yourself some grace as you are growing, because growing is what? A choice. You have
Yes.
to choose to want to love yourself more. You have to choose to stop the things that are between our ears, that our mind, everything, even loving yourself more, not only is a heart issue, a heart
Yes.
concern, but it's a mind concern. It's what are you thinking, right? We have to worry and manage some of those thoughts that interfere with our heart. What do you say, Lady Tiffany?
So I love the fact that you talked about the mind, because a lot of what we already hold within are things that we were taught or things we learned in just being in existence around certain people, around certain environments. So learning and growing is so important because we have to relearn some things or unlearn some things, right? Some things that we saw and we thought, oh, that's love. No, that really isn't love. I've heard stories from people who said, he beats me, but that's because he loves me. And that's truly not love. That might be your interpretation of it because that's all you know. But there is a method of unlearning some of those bad behaviors and some of those identities, things that we are identifying with the word love. And love truly has so many definitions. It's a word that's used widely, loosely. Sometimes we use it, we don't even mean it. We just throw it out there because it sounds good. So think about, how are you truly loving you today? We're in the first month of what they call the love month. And we really want you to focus on loving you. How do you focus on loving you? In addition to doing all the good stuff, the fun stuff, the external stuff, the body scrubs and the massages, that's all wonderful. But what's happening on the inside? How are you loving you there? Starting with your mind, where's your mind? Then your heart, your spirit, your sense of peace. Where are you in these areas? And how are you showing yourself love? How are you showing yourself that awareness that you do really love who you are and you're comfortable being who you are?
Yes, yes, that is important, because as you look, nestle in with yourself, right?
That,
Because there's so many people that really, it's hard for them to even be alone with themselves.
that's true.
And if you're a person that find it hard to be alone with yourself, you really want to tap into and get underneath that and say, why is it? Do you feel that you have to always be found being busy? Because then that means you could be avoiding something that really needs your attention. Because remember, this is all about you. This is
Yeah,
all about you. This is all about you loving you more and leaning in more to love, right? Because when you love yourself, it show up in other areas, and it actually even opens you up to receive more love.
there you go.
Yeah,
There.
to receive more love, because what you put out, it's coming, it's waiting, it's actually waiting on us, right?
Mhm.
It's actually waiting on us, and it's saying, I'm right here. But you have to then allow yourself, and we know some of that because people are like, well, I don't want to think about all of that, because then that means what? What's the V word? Vulnerability. And
Yes.
thinking about love, you have to even be okay to be vulnerable with yourself.
Yes, yes. And you have to be willing to want to talk about it. And like you just said, I don't want to think about that. I don't want to have this conversation. I don't want to relive this experience. So
Yeah.
you have to be true to you and really come to grips with, okay, what do I need to do now? I realize that I'm not loving myself. So how do I change this? What is my first step, second step, third step? So on that note, Lady K, can you give us a step that we can share with our audience?
Yes, definitely. Thank you so much. This again has been amazing. I'm excited for what we're doing in this season. So welcome and thank you again for tuning in to what we're doing here with First Ladypreneurs. I am excited to be here with Lady Tiffany Anisette Pringle, and you're going to be seeing so much more because God is doing some amazing things. So make sure you stay connected as we prepare to even wrap up today's episode. So stay tuned. And so, one of the things that you can definitely do is be okay to start voicing your feelings to yourself. Look, start, do have your mirror moments. Do
I,
you ever take the time to have your own mirror moments, right? I know for some people, and I talk to them often, where even to just stare at yourself for a minute,
mm,
right? Just look at yourself. They really find it hard. But if you're not ready to do that, then just have an out loud conversation, right? I don't care if you need to do it in your car, because for some people they don't want their families to be like, what are you doing? You have to be okay to start saying certain things out loud so you can hear what you're saying or what you're thinking to yourself. Make note of those things and then see, where is it coming from? Where is
yes.
that coming from? Is that truly how I feel? Or are those old thoughts from other people that I've
Mm,
allowed to stick to me?
yes. Yes.
Having a conversation, and I say uncomfortable because sometimes we don't even want to talk about it with ourselves,
Right.
to even question some of your thoughts, to then say, why did I think that way? Because I've had to do it along in my journey to then say, why do I feel that way? Where did that come from? Does it even hold any space in the season that I'm in now? Could it be a way that I felt 20 years ago? And I've been carrying that baggage, right?
Hmm.
We know baggage, that's a whole nother episode for another day. So we're gonna get into that one. But with some of the ways that we lack in loving ourselves, it show up in the weight of the world, in the weight of what excess weight, right? Not always, because some of us just like some good old food, right? So we're not gonna blame all of that on, on the lack of love, but be okay to start speaking out loud and even taking note, not just mental note, but write it down, looking at yourself, having a mirror moment, and not only doing the affirmations, because we know affirmations, they are amazing, they definitely do what they're designed to do, but you even have to believe those, and
Yeah.
not only believe those, but you have to move to action in the things that you affirm, not only in your mind and your heart, but what you speak out loud. What tip would you like to leave with them tonight?
So, in addition to looking at that mirror and talking to yourself, I would definitely say get your journal and start writing it out. Have a journal just for you to expose those emotions and put them on paper, the thoughts, put them on paper. And it helps you really see what's happening, because then you can go back and look at it as you grow. You look at it and say, wow, I came a long way. That used to be me. That's not me anymore. Now you can measure your growth. You can measure the fact that you are evolving in this area. But I love looking in the mirror and just talking to yourself and saying it over and over again. But again, with that spoken word, also have the written word. And with those two mediums, you have now began to realize and become more aware of what you're not doing that you could be doing, should be doing to really love yourself.
That is great. That is great. So I hope, it is my hope, I know that we both share that this something that was said on tonight, that you're able to hold to, that it is another tool for you to use and to even go back and listen to, because we want you to know that you are loved. You are
Yeah.
loved. You are precious. You are a gift. You are worth it. You are valued. And we're just glad that you even stopped by while enjoying this episode of First Ladypreneurs with myself, Lady Shawanna Kennedy, and the lovely Lady Tiffany Anisette Pringle. And we're excited. So get ready. Don't forget to be sure to make sure you message us if there's some topics that you want us to bring forth and bring to the platform. And we're excited about what God is doing in this season. And we thank you. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we get out of here for tonight? Because we're going to be seeing you guys again next week.
Yes, we are. So please share with us what you want to hear. Again, this platform is for the First Ladies, co pastors, women of faith. We're reaching out to you. We want to share your stories. We want to showcase your stories. And we want to also help those aspiring entrepreneurs and those that are new to ministry grow and become all that they desire to be. So thank you again for tuning in. Until next time. Step out the box, do something that you've never done before. We dare you to be the greatest version of yourself.
Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.